episode of Scarlet Letter Show, episode 77. And it's the first episode back after 5.5 months. Oh my God. And I have a very special guest tonight here with me, Mr. Grant Gilmore, which is the co-founder of EDM Identity and the CEO of Good Life Galactic.
Thanks for having me, Scarlett.
Yeah. Well, do you like that intro?
Yeah, that was an amazing intro.
Okay.
It's so lively. I haven't had that much energy in months.
Well, I told you I had a yerba mate, so I'm like ready to fuck shit up right now.
I love it.
Okay, so we play Jenga while we have the interview, and you only use one hand.
Okay.
And if you use the other hand, I'm gonna go like, okay? You're gonna get electrocuted with the mic.
Oh no.
You might like it, I don't know. But you can go first because you're my guest.
Alrighty, let's see. Ooh.
Oh wait, the first piece though, you gotta give us our autograph.
Okay.
You gotta choose
Let's
out of
do
this expensive markers
green.
from the Dollar Tree.
the finest of Dollar
The
Tree's
finest-
selection, right?
Yeah, you gotta do it with your pinky up.
Oh, there we go. Pinky out. Pinky out.
Oh, yes. Oh, show it
There
to
we
the
go.
audience.
Then they're gonna steal my autograph.
Oh no. We have to add some claps.
All right, let's put that right there.
All right, Mr. Grant. I'm so excited to have you here to hear your story. I did some research, so I already know a little bit about you. And the last time we hung out, we were having brunch at Breakfast Republic. That was the last time I saw you, which was like
wow.
a little bit more than a year ago.
It was before the dark times.
Before the dark times, yeah.
Before the pandemic.
Oh, I know, that was a cool time. Like every time that we hang out, we just have this like long hours of conversation, and I always feel like so inspired because you've done so much for the industry, and it's great. Like I want to know how little Grant was. Tell me about how, what do you like when you were in high school, middle school, or even elementary? What was little Grant like?
Oh wow, yeah. Going back into my memory banks, I was always into sports and other activities. When I was growing up, I played baseball, I played flag football. Then in high school, I got really into theater, and I was doing lighting tech back then. So we did a number of different plays and musicals and stuff like that. But then I kind of just lost the lead, and then I found the dance music community.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was into theater too, actually. That's how you know you're a freak, when you're into theater, because we like to play different characters and get out of our elements. I love being a character. That's why I love being in the industry, because I can be a little someone different every night. You've been attending festivals since 2010. Your first one was in 2008, your first event, but your first massive was in 2010, right?
Yes.
And what was your first event?
So the first massive I ever went to was Abstract 2010 here in San Diego.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I remember the lineup pretty distinctly too. It was Major Lazer, Skrillex, Claude Von Stroke. They were all there. It was crazy. But that was like old Major Lazer days too.
Major Lazer.
Yeah.
That's how back. That's cool. Actually, my first massive was EDC, but my very first event was Scream at the World Beat Center. That's how you know you're OG.
Oh, that is how you know you're OG for sure. Wow, I haven't thought about Scream in so long.
Dude, those were the days. Did you have a rain name?
Yeah.
Or if you still have one?
Panda. Panda's the rave name, and I'm never gonna get rid of it. It was given to me at Nocturnal Wonderland 2011 or 12. It was 2012, I think. And now I'll never get rid of it. Now I've got a panda fur coat and everything.
You got panda for life.
This is very difficult to play Jenga. I just want to let you all know at home, it's very difficult to think about Jenga and answer questions at the same time.
Yeah, I know we like it hard over here. My first massive was EDC. That was such an experience for me. Going into the tunnels and seeing the whole world, like everything like lit up, and it's just such an experience. Like you can't replicate that feeling. Like the very first time you walk through the tunnel is so magical.
Was your first EDC in Vegas?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, 100%. That is one of the best experiences you can have at any festival ever. Like, I've been to all these different festivals over the years, but there's nothing like walking through the tunnel at the Speedway, because you're really going from like the real world to like this entire like lit up carnival, and you see like all the stages are like booming music. That's a wild experience. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, technically last year doesn't count. It was a virtual
The
version,
virtual
you know.
Rave-a-thon was lit. Let me tell you, that was keeping me alive during the like everything that was going on. I just remember like Io's set was like so good. Like rest in peace, Io.
Yeah.
That was epic. Like the fact that they did that during this times, like it kept me alive, honestly.
Yeah, you know, I think that Insomniac did a really good job at the beginning of the pandemic to like do as much as they could to keep people occupied while they're at home. They were doing a Rave-a-thon every single weekend.
And I was watching every single one of them. I was going, like, you know, having my little rave party at home, and then I would get inspired to like DJ. oh, it's getting hot in here.
It's getting a little more difficult. I'll put it that way.
So you got a degree in social science, which is like completely opposite to what you're doing now, and then you worked in a nonprofit for like 10 years. What is it that made you transition into the EDM world?
You know, I really, like, looking back on it, I made the decision to move from the nonprofit side of the spectrum. You know, I was working with the Chargers and like a bunch of different NFL players.
I guess you were into sports. So.
Yeah, and it really worked out that way, but at some point I had been going to all these different raves, music festivals all over, and I kind of realized that like there was a lot of amazing things that were happening within this scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was also things that were happening during that time, especially post EDM boom in like 2013, where the scene really shifted away.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to help foster change and like make a better community and keep a lot of the old rave stuff alive, like the history alive of where it came from. Things
keep
like
the blur.
Yeah, exactly. I know when I pull this one, it's gonna go. I think I have a feeling. I just have a feeling. It's
a feeling.
It's so oh no oh. All right, but yeah. So basically, as festivals. No.
Well, guess what it's time for? It's time for me to spin my own wheel of misfortune. Oh no, I broke it. All right, so I have the reveal. I have to reveal a secret that he can ask me, or I have to reveal a piece of my undies. So you're gonna have to pick.
All right, I think I want to know what your weirdest rave moment was.
Oof. Weirdest. I mean, I don't remember most of them. There was this time we were on our way back to the hotel from EDC, and you know those lines like driving are like incredibly long, and I really had to pee, like terrible, like it was like so painful, and I had to sit in the car for hours, and like eventually I told them like I can't hold anymore, so they had to like pull up on the side of the freeway, and I like peed on the side of the freeway. There it is.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
I had to dig so deep. I'm like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? All right, there it is.
That's awesome.
All right, now you know. I have a small bladder. And I want to ask you, because you started off with like 8 to 10 people, and now you manage up to like 30 people across the globe. Like, how do you even get people on board? Like, how do you manage to do that?
There's a real specific way that we kind of go about looking for new writers. I think above all else, like, everybody on the team is so passionate about dance music and rave culture. Like, that is paramount to us. Beyond their writing and grammar and all the other stuff that goes along with it, they have to love dance music. They have to love the culture. But then we also sit there and, we just kind of put feelers out throughout the entire scene. There's a number of people that have been on the team for years that were just friends of mine from the EDC Reddit community. There's also people that we've picked up through random platforms like Twitter, like just sending out forums, and we've also gotten some people through LinkedIn too. So
all the ways.
Yeah, and I mean, there have been multiple times over the years, especially at like some of these bigger festivals like EDC Las Vegas, there will be a choke point where people will, get congested. And if I notice it at a show, I'm gonna bring it up in the review. I'm gonna sit there and say, hey, Pasquale, you gotta change this next time. You gotta do this or that, or, hey, why are these tickets so expensive now? Ticket prices skyrocketed.
Yes.
Really, like, it was insane. I remember going to festivals for $40, and now they're $300, $400. That's a huge increase. So I want people to realize, like, hey, if I'm spending $450 on an EDC ticket or a Coachella ticket or something like that, that they're getting their money's worth, and they know that what they're spending their money on is going to be worth it. And that's difficult to do when other websites that were out there weren't actually writing reviews that were detailed.
I think this is a good time to look at some of your pictures through the years.
Oh wow, I can't wait.
This is the time capsule. All right, you ready to see these pictures?
Yeah, I'm definitely ready.
Okay, picture number 1.
Okay. Yeah.
It's cute.
That is a very cute picture of me. I still am a Kings fan to this day. That being said, I do not remember that picture being taken at all.
I don't remember any of my baby pictures, but like those dog slippers though.
Yeah, I'm gonna, shout out to my mom. She always knew exactly what to dress me in when I was younger, and the dog slippers are adorable. I think the Kings outfit came from my dad. He's a big LA sports fan, so.
I love that.
Yeah,
Okay.
we get a beef all the time now.
Next picture.
Ah, yes, the infamous toga party on the cruise ship. That's me and my sister, for all you ladies out there, just letting you know.
He's single and ready to mingle.
And that was, wow, I was pretty hammered in that one, I'm pretty sure. That was on a cruise ship. I think that.
Oh, the cruise ship parties are lit.
Yeah,
Lit.
it was toga night, and we were like one of the only groups of people on the entire ship, I think, that wore the togas. Like, everybody else was lame. My sister and I, we always would go on these cruises with my family, but then there'd never really be anybody that was our age.
Yeah.
So we had to be the life of the party, or like
nice.
find things to do. So
I love that.
I can't remember exactly which one that was on. I think that might have been New York to Bahamas that we did. We've done a lot of
Damn,
cruising.
take me with you next
Yeah,
time.
of course.
Okay, the next one, Baby Raver,
Wow.
Candy Kid.
That picture was taken at LED Anniversary 2?
I was probably there.
Yeah, I'm pretty
I went
sure.
to all the LED events.
I can't remember. It was definitely an LED event, and that was definitely post 2012 because I was in Panda, right?
Yeah,
you
you
know.
really got the panda.
So that was 100%. God, this had to have been LED Anniversary. That was a fun one. I think my friend Yogi took that picture, and unfortunately, almost all of that candy, I think pretty much every single piece is gone.
What?
It got stolen. Yeah.
I still have my bag of candy at home, like.
Oh,
under
yeah.
My bed.
I still have like almost all my candy. I have like my cuffs and everything, like a lot of stuff people made for me. But one day I had been taking stuff out of my car, and I either must have forgotten to lock it or something, but somebody had broken into my car.
Oh no! And they
the-
just took the fucking candy.
The only bag that there was only one bag in there, and it was the bag of candy.
The candy
And I'm like, well, you just took a bunch of plastic beads. Thanks for stealing all those memories. But it was kind of cool because I mean, it sucked obviously when it happened, but when I kind of posted about it online, all of the people that had been doing plur packages with me over the years, and like people in the EDC Reddit community, they all sent me like plur packages, and it was just all this candy. So it was fun. It was nice that they did that. I still have almost all those pieces, like the ones I didn't trade away.
I don't think I'll ever get rid of my candy ever.
You just
I'll
can't.
pass it on to my kids.
Yeah. Here, take all these plastic beads that have memories when I was like really fucked up at an event.
Right?
Yeah.
Full of sweat and tears and maybe vomit.
Yeah. I kept my candy pretty clean. Okay. I never puked on my candy, but I definitely have like those seatbelt belts. So I have one of those, and it is completely full up with different cuffs that people, either I made or other people have made for me. You know, all the rave wives over the years, back in the day.
I love it. Next picture, we see wild Grand Gilmore in the grass.
Oh, that is a beautiful picture. That is one of, Coachella's hands down one of my favorite music festivals.
I've actually never been.
Oh, you have to go. When it's coming back next April, you gotta go. It's honestly one of the most unique experiences ever. There's just something about being out in Palm Springs. You're out in the desert, it's hot, it's almost miserably hot, and then you have some of the best artists in the world that are all playing at this one festival. What's kind of cool about Coachella too is the fact that there's different genres beyond just dance music. So while I can get my house and techno on, I can then go see other artists or bands play at all the other different stages, and it's kind of like my way of getting my non-EDM fix, if you will. But that picture specifically, that was what I think Coachella 2019, so that was before the pandemic, obviously. And one of the ongoing jokes within the Coachella Reddit group is that the grass is always better in weekend one, because we get all the green grass. It's a pride and joy of me and everybody else that goes that weekend, I swear. Because on weekend two, it's all dust. It's all like brown grass. So that picture specifically, we sat there and we've been talking about how the green grass was so great, and we had just walked by the big Ferris wheel, and all of these girls were like posing and like doing, they're getting their Instagram shots,
Yes. And lastly, you and Armin.
Oh yeah, that was, oh gosh, that whole experience was wild. Interviewing Armin was sort of like a life, my entire life like was flashing before my eyes type of situation, because
wow, I can only imagine.
Yeah, and that was back in 2016. So I didn't even think that I was gonna ever get the chance to interview Armin, and he's somebody that I had watched so many times over the years. I had seen him here in San Diego multiple times at like every major festival I'd ever gone to. Loved his music, loved what Armada and ASA have done, especially for the trans community. And getting into getting an interview with Armin is difficult. Like, he's very unattainable. But he was playing Dream State, and they actually Dream State, and trans family. But
I know you're into the more like melodic stuff.
yeah, but yes. So getting the chance to interview him, I thought I was only gonna get like 5 or 10 minutes, and I remember his manager texting me while I was there, and I was freaking out because I was like,
no signal.
yeah, I was like, if I miss this text, I'm never gonna live it down. Like, I need to make sure I make this happen. So I found the manager. Manager's like, all right, it's time for you to interview Armin. He opens the door to Armin's trailer, and it was like the who's who of trance music was inside Armin's trailer. And the manager just kicks them all out. And I'm sitting there like I'm holding the EDM Identity flag. I'm wearing my Spirit hood. I look like some random raver they just plucked out of the crowd. And all these like mega DJs were getting booted out of Armin's trailer so that I could have some alone time with Armin. I was so nervous, and he looked at me and he said, "So did you come prepared?" And I was like, "Oh, did I come prepared?" And like I had this like existential life crisis. I was like, "Did I come prepared? What are my interview questions?"
Everything just
It was really like that, and something just clicked. Like right when he had said that, I had that moment where I was like, "This is really happening right now," and then all of a sudden I was like, "Yeah, I came prepared," and I sat down and started asking him some really good questions, and it was fun. It was a good time.
That's amazing. Wow, I can only imagine like interviewing one of your favorite artists like that. I would. Oof, yeah. That was such an accomplishment, though.
Yeah, interviews are always really nervous, especially when it's a DJ that I've followed for a long time. Like over time, it's gotten way easier just because I'm more comfortable and feel like I'm on more of the same level as them. But even now, like interviewing people like Feed Me or I haven't been able to interview Above and Beyond yet, for instance. And I don't know how I would actually react during that because it'd be like, whoa, like. Even more than Armin.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, because those are your favorite.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, because you like music that they can tell a story.
Yes.
That's what you're into. You like what? Okay. I know you like more of like that chill, and then you like the trancey stuff. Like, what do you expect to feel, or like what do you look for before you go to an event? Like, do you expect to like get some feels, like let loose? Like, what are your expectations?
In preparation for an event, I kind of try to go in with no expectations. I even having gone to festivals for as long as I have, I really appreciate the experience that the promoter tries to offer. And I try to do as much as possible while I'm there. So EDC, I'm not going to stay at one stage. I'm going
all
there's
the
too much to
stages.
do. Yeah, and there's also things like exploring VIP or checking out all the art cars. There's secret sets happening all the time. There's a lot of FOMO within the festival.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
because you want to go everywhere. Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
So I go in with no expectations, and I try to just go with the flow as much as possible. And I've been lucky enough to be able to see so many of the artists that I've come to love over the years that it isn't something where I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta hit this set or that set. Like there's maybe 3 or 4 artists, like for ones like EDC, obviously more, that I want to catch and I'll like make a note of and I'll text my friends. What would be like your
top 3?
Of artists that I see all the time?
Yeah.
How about I'll give you 5, right?
Okay.
Because I'll say
I can never miss Rest.
Above and Beyond, Eric Prydz, Nero, Zed's Dead.
Oh, okay, bass.
And then kind of depends on my mood, but
they're random.
Yeah, I think that's sort of like the 5th one. I'll leave it as a wild card. Sometimes it's Late Nate, sometimes it's Cascade, sometimes it's Calvin Harris. It just sort of depends on where I'm at personally.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that, and oh my God, we can't wait to be back at the next festival, right?
Right.
How you been handling all of this? Like not being able to go out and feel the bass in your face, the music.
I haven't been handling. I mean, I have been handling
I mean, you're
it.
here now.
I'm
so
obviously, yeah. You know, I really have. The past year has been a struggle. Mm-hmm. It's been the most difficult year, probably of my entire life so far. Knock on wood. Yes. I hope this table's wood. The Jenga bricks. You're right. Duh. What am I thinking? But it's been rough. It's been a really rough year. The stuff that's been really keeping me going, like I said earlier, was like my team, and also being able to catch as many live streams as possible. I do have to shout out Club Quarantine and Gabriel and Dresden, because without them, I don't know where I would be right now, like mentally. But they really kicked it into high gear, early on in the pandemic. Dave Dresden got on to Twitch and just started playing every single night, and it was just keeping everybody steady. And what happened with that was that there was this group of people that got cultivated on Twitch, which ended up becoming a Facebook group. And he hasn't stopped performing on Twitch since. He's practically streamed every single week, multiple times a week for over a year now.
It's amazing.
There's been a couple of breaks, yeah, but overall, like, it's impressive. And I can't catch every set that he does, but it's been nice because the music that he's been playing hasn't just been Gabriel and Dresden's own music.
Yeah, I've seen it when he has like the EDM like old stuff and
yeah.
and you gotta mix it up. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's been great.
When he did the EDM Classics one, that was super
so
sick.
Good. Yes.
And then they also been bringing on other guests too. So artists like Marsh or 11 have joined on, and I mean even then they've taken Club Quarantine onto Anjuna's main Twitch channel. But overall, it's just been a lot of listening to music, a lot of working. I've worked every single day since the pandemic began, since Cross last year, and so that has been draining. But I also have done. I also went to two of the Park and Raves, the Insomniac through.
Oh, nice! I actually didn't get to go, but
yeah,
it looked fun.
If there was anything that I was gonna do during that time that was safe, it was gonna be that. And that, honestly, the experience that they brought to the NOS Event Center parking lot, asterisk, right, was really cool. Everybody was wearing masks. Everybody was in a pod. It was very contained. And it was nice to be able to kind of lay in my portable hammock in my pod and listen to Maceo Plex or listen to any of the Christopher Lawrence played, the Dream State one. I also did Electric Mile with my family as well, and that was a lot of fun too. But otherwise, I haven't really done all that much. It's been a lot of staying at home and watching live streams, working, playing video games with friends.
So what do you think, what does the future hold for the industry? What do you think is going to happen?
It's always difficult to predict the future. I think that there's a lot of different moving parts that we're experiencing this right now with the proverbial issue of when is it going to be okay for certain things to come back? When is it okay for indoor to open? When is it okay for music festivals that are 40,000 people to happen? And I don't necessarily think that there's a specific right answer with that. I also don't think that the scene has been devastated to the point where it's never coming back and we're never going to have an EDC ever again, obviously. We hit an inflection point over the past decade with the EDM boom to really get to a level where so many large corporations are invested in the festival scene that it's too big to fail in certain points. But at the very, very core, the mantra of the rave never dying is true. It never will die.
Rave to the grave.
Right, rave to the grave, literally. And that's, at the end of the day, I don't even need a big festival. I can go out to the desert with some friends and have a sound system out there and have a great time.
There you go.
Or go to some warehouse or wherever. At the end of the day, the scene's not about EDC and Coachella and all these major festivals. It's really about what you make of it and what you get out of it. And a good portion of my favorite experiences in the scene have come from random after parties that are at some silly warehouse somewhere, or things that are off the beaten path, and you can't really replace that. There's unique experiences at festivals, no doubt, but I don't need the lights and lasers to draw me in and keep me going. Mm-hmm. I like the music and the people, and that's what matters to me.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's been great, and we're about to wrap up the interview with the last section, which is the human experience.
The human experience. In
this section, I'm gonna ask you 6 different questions about how you see yourself, life, the world, some self-awareness questions.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one is, what is your greatest strength?
I'm a very humble person. No, I have to think really quick. What's my greatest strength?
3, 2, just kidding. You can think about it.
I'm really driven and motivated to do everything I can to succeed in life, and my work ethic is insane.
Yes, it is.
Which is also a big weakness in the same level, but it is a strength because I know that I know what I want, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make that happen, and that's a huge strength to have in the world right now.
I love that. Second one is, how do you deal with negativity in your environment?
I struggle with that one a lot. I think that negativity is a frustrating situation because, like, what type of negativity is it? Is it negativity where it's negative because somebody did something that needs to be called out? Or is it negative because it's just bad vibes? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the way I process it is I determine, like, is this battle worth fighting? Is this something that is important? Can we make change here? Is it in my control or not? What can I do? And so a lot of times it does mean I shut off Twitter or I shut off Instagram and take a social media break. I also try to just avoid negative everything as much as possible. But on the flip side, I also, like, participate in calling out artists that are doing bad things, or, you know, things like that. So it's a balance. I think life's about finding balance. Right. Exactly.
Okay. When was the last time you made a change in your life?
Through the past year. not going to every festival under the sun was a huge change. To give a bigger, better question, I think that 2014, when I started EDM Identity, that was the thing that really changed my life, because I went from being somebody that was a consumer of rave culture and the festival scene to being somebody that was deeply embedded and involved within the community. And looking back on it, like, the experiences I had before 2014 are starkly different than the ones that I had post 2014, for better or worse. So.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. What life tip would you tell your younger self if you could go back in time?
That's a good question. Invest in Bitcoin. That might age really poorly or not. You know, I think honestly, it would be to sit there and to really try to take all the experiences in a little bit more and be more aware of what was going on during the early years of me going to festivals and shows, because there's a lot of times I didn't take a picture or I didn't record even a snippet of a set, and now I cherish a lot of those files that are on my hard drives, because I look back and I'm like, wow, like, that's exactly what it was like in 2012. Or all these artists, like, I look at the lineups and I go, oh my gosh, this lineup was so stacked. Like, how did I miss this artist and that artist? And it was because I was, you know, chasing some random person around a festival or something like that. So, not that those memories are bad, but it does, like, looking back, I would tell myself to cherish that era of the scene a little bit more, because it was all gonna go away at some point. And
the golden days.
Yeah, the golden EDM era.
Oh yeah, those were the days. What would you do if fear was not a factor and you could not fail?
That's a good question. Well, if I can't fail, then I can build a rocket and go to Mars, right?
Yep.
That'd be cool. I've always really loved space and been infatuated with the cosmos as a whole. So I do want to, take a rocket ship at some point and at least float around and listen to some really good music. Like, wouldn't it be tight to be in a spaceship and have some really dope house music playing? I think that'd be cool.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
Hope you'll take me with you. All right, and last but not least, we got the Scarlet Letter.
I love that it's actually a Scarlet Letter.
It's actually red now. It used to be black. It was to be inverted black with the red stamp, and I'm like, but it's a Scarlet Letter. Why?
Yeah.
Why? So you pick one, open
Okay.
it, and answer the question inside, the bonus question.
Any ideas?
And you can keep it. It's a little souvenir.
I don't want to tear it. But I'm like trying to be all dainty.
I know, 80% of my guests are like, but.
Oh, a sticker.
Yeah, you get a sticker.
All right, so the question, should I read the question?
Yes.
Okay, so the question says, when did something start out badly for you, but in the end it was great? Okay, so I guess I can tie this into like festival experiences, right?
All about the festival.
It really is at the end of the day. I would say that there was a moment where in 2015 I went to EDC with like a mixed group of people, and there was a situation that sort of happened that really harshed the vibe. I'll put it that way. I kind of found myself that EDC walking around by myself on day 3, and I wasn't having a very good time. And I was questioning, like, why was I there? And, like, why was I missing this set because of this person and all this other stuff? And at some point, I ended up linking up with Angel, one of my buddies, and he was like, yeah, just hang out with me the rest of the night or whatever. And so I did, and I remember meeting up with the rest of my Rave family and catching Dylan Francis's Sunrise set, effectively, at Cosmic Meadow. And at that time, Angel was like, hey, let's go like check out this other thing. And I was like, where are we going? And we ended up at the Insomniac after party inside of EDC, and they had like all these pools and stuff, and no one else was around, and it was literally just us. Like Pasquale was there, like all these other people that worked for Insomniac that I got to meet. Bunny from Rabbit in the Moon, and Sean, who does EDC. Yeah, and it was really surreal to be there, and like it was kind of like we made it. We weren't even really supposed to be there. Like we just had access somehow, and we ended up having a great time. Then drove all the way back to the Strip, and I had a cabana booked on Monday to relax at I think it was at one of the pools, and it was a good day. All things considered.
What a beautiful day. That's a cool story. And before you go, we got the mystery box.
Ooh, mystery box.
Your party souvenir. There's so much of random things in there.
Always, frankly, terrifying to put your hand in a dark hole. Oh, it's kind of squishy in here. What's going on? What's this? Mini Boo's collectible, hand painted.
Oh.
Ooh.
Let's see which one it is.
Oh my gosh, it's like actually wrapped up.
Yeah.
Aww, it's a little kitty. Adorable.
Thank you so much for being here. You're amazing. Let me give
Thank
you
you.
a hug. Oh.
Thank you for having me.